Alright, welcome back to another drawing video. Now, before we start, I did this already, like some of the, here. I was drawing while I was watching stuff. So I'm just going to be drawing the background, and yes, that is essentially the plan. So, most of you probably don't even know this because you didn't purchase the Patreon thing, $10 for the, the mature drawings. But I drew a character that I've, called Fayanna. She's a tiger fairy. And a particular drawing that I think a lot of you would like to, look at, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. But, yes, I did a character that was, first came from Patreon. And I want to draw her again, only this time with clothes on. Because, obviously, this is being posted on DeviantArt and Twitter and Instagram. And it's a normal drawing. So, we are now going to be drawing the background. The background, you think it's kind of, how you say, Rule 34 type of cleaning. Yes, that's the word. Yes, of course. It's something that, I would be willing to go down, and that's why I draw that. Because I'd be willing to go through it. When it comes to most of these mature drawings, I only draw it if I am willing to go through it, or if I am more really curious and would like to try it out. Unlikely to actually happen because most of that is fantasy-esque, but it's fine. But yes, that is what we are drawing today. A safe for work version of that drawing, as in it's just showing off the character and her design. And yes, that is essentially the plan for today. I'm not sure what I have to talk about. The fact we already did Saturday and frickin' Sunday, and barely anybody comes in on those 2 days. Why they still put it up, I have no idea. It's kind of frustrating. People got lives, and they just don't seem to understand that. I'm not gonna go to this creature right here that the part of Fayanna had the misfortune of being caught by. Of course, if you were able to see the sign that's behind the creature, you probably wouldn't be caught now, would you? Now, in the drawing, it was top down, looking down from the floor, so the trees are going to definitely be different. What are they going to be? I don't know. I still got the cold and the cough, well, mostly the cough now. Now it's just a cough that's just not going away. A little bit of congestion in the nose, but other than that, we're doing A-okay. Just wish it would stop already so that I don't have to worry about this goddamn cough. But, yes. See, the tree here is going to be new, and, yeah. Though I've always wondered, this frickin' game idea that I had in mind with a certain fan art related character. Something like that, I don't know if I'd even be able to get a crew to make. It would have to be something of a side project if I were to ever start fully going into game development, which I would like to. Of course, I would like my first game to be a safe-for-work game and not a not-safe-for-work game. But, sometimes these things happen. You got these ideas, you want to try to make it out, and, Thing is, I wouldn't be able to make this unless I know how to use Blender, which I don't. Even though I have some experience with Dream and 3D modeling there, trying to learn how to use Blender, I have one more left to do, so the $10 price tag is actually worth it for the monthly subscription-based kind of deal. If you know what I mean. But yes, that, there's a lot of stuff that I have given myself to do, which is good. It's always good to want to have something to do when you get home, instead of just sitting around and laying down for hours. There's also other games I've been playing. And here I am thinking that I'd be playing Skyrim for like a large majority of the time, but I haven't touched it ever since I started playing Tales of Berseria. Nice game, like the story. I'm at the part where we're about to get, I think, the last Therion? I don't recall. We just got the poor... Spoilers, puppers, if you know what that is. You already know what I mean when I say puppers. But, yes. We just got past that part. Crew underwent some... crap, I forgot what the sickness was called, but it was a sea sickness, and, ice bitch over here with her freaking... What was it? Well, goddamn, I forgot what the word was. Whatever. Anyways, yes, I've been playing that a lot recently. I've also had a little bit of experience in the forest. Would you believe the first cave I explored went right to the sinkhole? I wasn't even paying attention to where the cave system was. I'm like, okay, I want to go and explore a cave and get better loot. Got a katana, but now I have access to the sinkhole to the endgame area. And I know that's endgame area because I watched Sunday play it. Then I finally, Mark, Bob, and Wade made it to the end of the game. Surprised, really. Just took a lot longer than you'd think. But they stuck with it. Their final boss, which, definitely a strange boss, to say the least, with the way they... spin it. But yeah, on to that game idea I had. There was an idea, like at least two ideas I had in mind, and I'll talk about the latter one, which is the safe for work one, at a later date. But since I'm drawing a drawing that was technically, is a precursor to a hardcore mature drawing, I could probably talk about this one. So the game idea involved Rouge the Bat. If anybody of y'all knows Sonic, the only legal aged character outside of Vector, Wave, and probably a few others that I'm not really sure of. Game-wise, I'm talking about. Although show-wise, there is Topaz, which is a good combination for Rouge. I know a lot of people don't like the whole Sonic and Ellis thing, or whatever her name was. I never even got to... I don't know how the hell you can screw something like that up, since you've done it so well in 2... Well, 2 was a little buggy too, but it's better than 06 was, at least, with the railing system. I was never able to beat that game. It was on the Xbox controller. Either I broke the controller or I got the red ring of death, which is kind of stupid that existed, but, technology at that time wasn't really the best. But yes, if there's one human Mobian couple that I have no issues with, obviously, because of, the implications, it's definitely Rouge and Topaz. This has nothing to do with the game, by the way. It's definitely Rouge and Topaz. Even though I don't watch Sonic X, I definitely have seen that combo couple. I was going to say couple for some reason. That combo couple. Okay, that's a tongue twister right there, and I didn't even notice. But that is definitely a couple right there. That is pretty good. One that's... Actually, I don't know Topaz's personality that well. Yeah, well, anyways. I say, before I do the non-safe for work idea, what do you call it? Let me tell you the idea that I had in mind for the safe for work game. The one I think a lot of people will enjoy, and is also probably the reason why I went for the whole Topaz Rouge, the spouting thing, whatever the word beeth is. The game idea in mind for the safe for work one involves a lot of stealth. So think of it like, I don't want to say Metal Gear, because that's the stealth system in this game is not like similar to that, but it's more like I would say maybe Deus Ex to an extent. The enemy's cone vision with the the flight, the climbing walls, the gliding, the acrobatics and stuff like that. Something like that to an extent. With Obviously, the ability to essentially fall from any mostly just stealth. There is like some combat instances, but you'd mostly want to try to avoid combat because you don't have a lot of combat arsenal abilities. And there's also boss fights as well. The idea here is that most of the levels are like 5-10 minutes long, depending on if you're going for collectibles. It's not just stealth, it's a lot of, how you say, treasure hunting. You're like stealing a bunch of treasures when fighting bosses, similar to Sonic Adventures 2, but the bosses will be more complex and have more patterns to worry about. Some may be stealth-like bosses that requires you to, like, hide behind cover and try to get to them to do damage. Something like that, I don't know. I haven't looked too much into the boss department, just really the gameplay idea. And I even have this one funny cutscene where, like, Rouge is explaining to the team, because obviously we're going to have Shadow and Omega here. I think I have an idea where, if you beat the game with, let's say 100%, ranking doesn't matter, you unlock Shadow mode, where you essentially go through the game again, but it's just like, you're destroying all the enemies instead of collecting anything. It's just a simple destroy all the enemies in the level, which will probably take like 2 to 3 minutes. Just a niche little bonus mode where you get to play as Shadow and just destroy shit. And then same applies for Omega, except it's like an arena-esque survival kind of thing where you shoot a whole bunch of enemy robots, cause a ruckus, and have all of the enemies from like the ranking system, score system. Like, it's not necessary to like complete it; it's optional. But kill a bunch of enemies, get a bunch of combos, and take little damage throughout each combos to keep that combo up, and you get a good score and rank. Which is good because you get costumes for the characters when you get good rankings. Some stuff like that, And I think a lot of people would enjoy a game like that. And it has a lot of promise, too. A Sonic stealth game that revolves around Rouge, similar to how Shadow the Hedgehog worked with all of the guns. I always liked Shadow the Hedgehog. I know a lot of people probably aren't like into the idea of a Sonic character using a gun, but I've always liked it. I've played it so many times, but I never was able to get the true ending, because back then I thought I was supposed to get like an S rank on all of the freaking missions. I think I played all the missions, yet somehow I wasn't able to get the true, like the final, like the true final boss ending. I don't even know how many times I played that game. It had to have been like getting played that game. What I mean is how many times I've gone through the mission thing. I had to have played it at least like 100 times, 100 missions or so. But yes, I think a game involving everything, Oh yeah, that's right. And then I go to the creatures and grab the fairy cleaner. What do you call it? But yes, that's the safe work idea game that I had in mind with Rouge. The other one is slightly, more risque in a sense. And like I said before, it's not safe for work. In other words, it's somewhat like a hentai game, if you want to call it that. But the main premise is Rouge is being taken by some interdimensional thing in a portal. This, what do you call it? Let's just call her a deity. She's a humanoid deity, somewhat so to speak, with this certain, like, ethereal color design to it, like a, kind of like white and light blues and stuff like that. I think she had, like, white skin, some, like, light blue tattoos or something, and this, like, elegant dress of some sorts. And essentially, as soon as Rouge gets brought into this place, the deity lady, for some reason, is clipping her wings so you are unable to, use any form of gliding. And the entire process is just a bunch of parkour and avoiding, like, certain damage instances. The major thing to take into consideration is that this lady puts this ring around Rouge's neck. The rings that you collect in Sonic games where you take a damage and it's negated by all the rings leaving. I've always imagined like a cheat somewhat, so to speak, in the original Sonic games where you activate this ring that's around your neck, and what this ring does is it doesn't disappear. The counter's always at one ring, even though you won't see it in this game. And no matter how many damage you take, you don't die. But I have to imagine that the character who has that all around their neck are probably experiencing great pain. Because, you know, even though the ring's constantly, you know, mechanic here, where instead of a, you know, a health bar, you get a pain tolerance meter. And what this pain tolerance meter is if it reaches 0, and if you're still taking what would be damage and are unable to escape it, that's game over. So, like, say a spike. If you land on spiking your skin from, like, taking in some, like, extreme damage or scarring, and making it so that you only will feel the pain, but you won't die. It's the way of this particular world, which is not really, you know, a good thing. I mean, yeah, not dying is great and all, but it's worth feeling a bunch of pain just as a chance to try to escape your hell? Probably not. But there's more than just the spikes. There's also, you say, fire. And certain aspects of it. Now, this is mostly, how you say, you know how most of those Lara Croft games go? Tomb Raider and all that crap? It's sort of like that, but, you know, there's no gore, none of that. It's just, like, constant pain. Probably skin turns pink to, like, signify raw feeling. And there's more to it than just the pain aspect. I guess I could say this. There is a specific obstacle that when you're caught by it is an instant game over no matter where your, what do you call it, is at. That, my friends, are the tentacles, as you can see right here from this plant. Those particular tentacles. Seems like heaven to me, but to y'all who aren't into that stuff, you probably don't want to experience it. And from all around the world. Obviously, this deity is somewhat of a lesbian, because there's no men here, which, you know, for a hentai game, obviously, I would not have any men in it. Not even a creature man. If it's going to be, if there's going to be, like, creatures, it's going to be, like, tentacle monsters that you could probably construe as, how you say, female and not a male tentacle thing. And that's just how I am. Whenever I make these particular mature drawings, I always put myself in the girl's position. That's why I never draw guys in these things, because obviously I don't want to think about a guy doing that crap to me. Why would I? There's only really like a few that I've thought about, and I don't even know how much they count since they're more towards the line of traps. You know, I think I've even told you this before, didn't I? Karapika, Astolfo, and even Z from Tokyo Ghoul. I don't know. It's a case of, I say I might want it, but I might not like it. I know it's not going to be like reality, because reality does not match anime, which kind of sucks sometimes, because, you know, anime just looks much nicer. I mean, look at that face. You can't get that face in reality. You're just going to have so many wrinkles. I know, folks, I know. But so is the way of reality. I've always imagined that if we were to enter some same appearance, that kind of stuff. But it is what it is. Anyways, yes, back to the game. So the deity over here, for some reason, is putting Ruse through this because she wants to see her suffer just alongside all the other poor, unfortunate souls that are, you know, fortunate enough to be within this lady's grasp. Let me see them for a second. Alright, those are berries. But, yeah, that's the entire plot point in that instance. You get your wings reattached, because you've been clipped. Like, it's not a very pleasant situation. She got her wings literally ripped off by a fly. You are at the mercy of parkour. Meaning that your lack of mobility will probably make it very difficult to actually do very much of anything here. This plant is not surrounded by a lot of grass, so I'll just separate the grass here. So I haven't really thought too much about the gameplay aspect of, like, you know, what are you looking for? All I know is that the main instance here is that you're in a that you can't really get to until you've gotten a certain thing, a certain, like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about how to abduct that from her world, from Rouge's world, and I don't know if she would do that. She's only out there trying to collect a bunch of ladies, and it's not really exactly a collection of power like most things. To find that portal and grab the Chaos Emeralds back from that universe, which I do have an idea on making an expansion of the comic for, and stuff, you know, and obviously that, you know, there would be some form of rivalry between the two. But yes, indeed, that is something that I do plan on at least making some form of some comic-esque book, kind of, not an actual comic, trust me. I tried making a comic before. I was 9 pages in, and it took ages to get to those 9 pages. I would like to do something comic-related. If it's going to be something comic-related, I'd rather it be my job instead of what I have currently. Actually, yeah, if any of you big, what do you call it, you bigwig people over there with the comics and stuff want somebody to, like, you could hire along to make some comics for, like, I like this, show me around the ropes, and, you know, maybe, like, give me a crew to make a comic or something. I got ideas. I have a lot of creations, and I really want to do something other than this godforsaken job over here, which is just tedious, annoying, boring, and quite frankly, things that we can just, whoever owns that, give me the crew to make Neutron Adventure. I know it's a strange game, but I'm quite confident people would enjoy it. Although it's not to say we probably couldn't make the game with Rouge if we do, like, you know, we don't make money off of it. But that's the issue when it comes to, like, fan art related games. You need to get, like, some form of money to be able to actually create it, you know? But yeah, that is like most of the concept there for that particular, what do you call it? There's definitely some moments in there in a okay, before I try to explain, but you know what? We're gonna make our own strip club with blackjacks and hookers and tentacles. You know what? Forget the blackjack. Just hookers and tentacles. Jesus Christ. Alright, but yes, that is going to be, like, quote-unquote the safe hub haven. And there'll be an instant show off Rouge X Topaz, so no way they would do this. Whoops, you're supposed to be in this form. I guess it's fine, we got speed. That's like the central area. And if I were to have to imagine there'd be at least, like, several areas to go to like, equate what would be considered Chaos Emeralds. Like, we don't actually have Chaos Emeralds here, probably not, but, you know, who knows? I don't exactly know what the main, like, collectible would be to, like, grab and, you know, get some form of superpower up or something. Who knows? It's, as it stands right now, it doesn't exactly matter too much. Because, like I said, game probably will never get made. Just the same as how Neutron Adventure will never get made. Anyways, but, you go through those areas, go through a bunch of parkour, jumping around, making sure that you don't, you know, fall into pits or take enough damage to be, you know, destroyed. Not destroyed, but you know what I mean. And yes, your main objective is to try to find a way out of this hellscape. And to do that, There's a certain pit you have to go over, which requires you to get your wings back. Because if you try to go over that pit, you're just gonna fall and game over. Instant game over. In this pit, once you can get past it, that's where the final boss is. So stuff like that. Just a very difficult boss to fight. She is the deity of this world. Is obviously a very difficult one because it's the final boss. Outside of parkour, though, I have to imagine it had some puzzle instances. And there's one puzzle idea I had in mind where you go into this control room, and for some reason you got these quote-unquote clones of Rouge and strapped up to these, I guess, rectangular boxes, kind of, so to speak. And there's these, spike areas that are, right there, kind of, enacting as a... Or I think it's... Is it a spike? No, wait, no. I think it was, a laser that you had to, try to, aim. This one is going to be a strange idea, so try to stick with me on this one. But, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get the rectangular boxes inside of those little slots. Yeah, I think you gotta, be careful of the spikes, because if you hit the spikes anywhere on the box, a tentacle door opens up above you in the main control pit, and boom, game over. I'm not going to say too much about that, because, obviously, you get what I'm trying to put down. But, yeah. The, rectangular puzzle, you know how that block there, you move it like this, kind of that's what the puzzle is like. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to essentially create a bridge to get power over to the door to try to open it up, obviously. And once you've managed to do that, you unfortunately are just now constantly going to be in suffering. It's worse to think about that, but this is a very dark place. It is dark, actually. Skies are black, these giant tentacles in the background, kind of makes up most of the hub area you can see in the back. It's very creepy stuff. I mean, granted, I feel like I'd be down to be here just if there was some form of way to temporarily switch genders. I would definitely want to try to go into a place like that. If it's temporary, of course. There's no internet there, and that would be boring as all hell. I wouldn't be able to create now, would I? I want to create as much as I can, no matter what, no matter how weird it is. You've seen the stories I told about Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubbles dying, or either gay couples or something like that. You know how weird my creative minds can get. So you shouldn't really be surprised with an idea like this. Whoops. Oh, wait, no, I just muted it. That's fine. Probably for the best that that's muted, so I don't get that or whatever it's called. I'm not trying to replicate it right now. That's really the only puzzle idea that I had in mind for that. I'm sure there's more. But like I said, there's no way in hell I'd be able to make that game. Not without a team, or not without extensive knowledge on 3D, modeling, as well as, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess whatever coding Unity uses. I do have some vague idea on what alongside all the other stuff. All I'd have to do is learn how to do the basic coding nonsense, and boom, we're set. Of course, like I've said before, I need to learn how to use a Blender to make models. Although also, of course, that probably wouldn't handle Dig Planet. Dig Planet might be very difficult for me to make because A, there would have to add a center option, and I don't exactly know how that would look. Would it be like, that weird rainbow-esque looking, whatever that sensor bar that was used as, not black sensor bar, it had a bunch of colors on it. That would make the most sense because Neutron is at the YMCA. Getting dicks in a YMCA. But yes, that probably would be what Dick's name was. But that probably be what it would be. Yeah, like a good example. Aqua Hunger Force didn't use that sensor bar in the TV version. For Rocket, Dick Rocket. Anyways, the first game I definitely would make is Labyrinth. This game I made long ago when I was, not little. I should say when I got out of high school. It's a good game, too. I just want to, I should have tried to, refine it a little bit more. It still works as it still actually is playable. I just feel like there's more I could do to it. I could refine it a little bit more, make it, much more, cleaner or something like that. You know what I mean, right? Make it a much nicer experience or something. But, that's probably what I'd do first. That's what I was thinking about doing in Dreams after I finished Space Blaster, but I haven't got around to working on it. With all of this that I have in mind, I don't know if I will be able to get time to start working on it. I'm also concerned about the thermometer. I'm hoping that if they do make a PS5 version, if I can get a PS5, that the PS5 version has an increased thermometer, and then I can actually, try to finish it fully. Another thing I could probably do is reduce the amount. Crap, where is that? I can't see it. It's all a mess here. There it is. One thing I could probably do is reduce the amount of enemies that can spawn on the board, but I don't want to do that because that means that it won't be as hectic and chaotic as it should be. If you don't have it hectic and chaotic, then it's just going to be a boring Space Blaster shooting game. And I don't want that. I want it to be hectic when you get far enough into the game. Oh, I almost forgot to save these brush swatches, which was going to be terrible because I would never be able to get that color back exactly the way it should be. Speaking of which, I think we should be done with this, so let me save this swatch now. Fairy Forest. There it is. The 7th zone that we're working on only really needs to get the enemies made, but I am so worried that I'm going to reach the thermometer and we're not going to be able to spawn a whole bunch of... Because if we reach the thermometer limit, then the maximum amount of enemies will spawn and we won't be able to shoot at all or use any of our abilities that create stuff, which is not good. I'm sure there's a way I could probably try to refine it a little bit more, but I don't know how I could. I don't know, reduce some of the unnecessary coding, but most of the coding that I've been using is technically necessary. I haven't figured out what I could do to reduce it. I feel like the PS4 could actually handle it at maximum capacity. I just don't know if there's anything else I could do to try to reduce it. I mean, most of it is some of the music. I guess that is a major aspect to that. I just wish that wasn't the case. Maybe there's something I can do. Maybe Media Molecules, I think, created it. Maybe I could convince them to try to give Space Blasters a little bit more juice. I'm sure that PS4s can handle it. Not a whole lot being put in. Most of this stuff is kind of hidden behind stuff and isn't really being used as much. I don't know. That's my problem with Dreams. It's too limited. Too limiting. And again, I guess most things are limited by your computer's capacity and being able to actually handle certain things. CCB10. That's right. It would also be good to try to learn these skills in general. If I can learn how to do Blender and all that stuff, I might have a better chance of being hired by some game development company. I would prefer to create my own, where I can make my own ideas. Be like a developer/publisher combo. Surely that's possible, right? But how will I go about doing it? I don't know. Right now, my best chance in actually making somewhere is to create. Nova Guardians is a good start, and soon-to-be Elementals Reborn is also a good start. I make that into this big story with a bunch of episodes and these comic-esque covers. Who knows? Maybe I'll be picked up by someone. The issue is, I feel like my internet presence is so severely lacking that chances are it's gonna take too long to actually get to that point, and I'll be too old and too miserable. Because that's what happens when you are stuck in jobs like this. Well, not this. This is what I want to do instead. Something that I already spend like more than 12 hours a day at times to draw. I can't really do commissions either. I got so many of my own ideas that I want to draw that opening up commissions is kind of, unsurmountable. I got a whole lot more ideas that I want to draw that I have to draw first. Sure, I could probably leave some space in, but don't forget I'm limited by 80 drawings per... Ah, crap. Why do you keep doing that? Are you fine? You're fine enough. Like I said, I am limited by 80 drawings per limitation period. Which is... before I forget, now that I said limitation period, I'm going to update my list, because, like I said, DeviantArt fucking screwed up some stuff. This is fantasy. Why did they change it to whatever the hell this crap is? It's like this stupid man just decided, no, I don't like this. I need more numbers. Just count the subfolder count. And I'll put my one drawing within my 128 subfolders in this one folder, so I have this giant number. So that people are what's the word I'm looking for? People are misled by the amount of art that I've made, which is actually just one. I didn't make 128. I made a one drawing and put it all in these subfolders in this one folder. And now here I am standing with 128. Numbers. Stupid. It's like, what even is that number count, guys? Come on. It's like you got this freaking idiot over here who only wants to see big numbers, despite the fact that quantity doesn't mean much. The only reason why I'm sticking to my 2 drawings a week is so that I can keep content going. I mean, I make these drawings quick enough and good enough to where the quality basically stays the same. Nothing really changes. I think the only thing that I would have to change up would be if I'm doing a very complex drawing. That's the idea that I have in mind. That's something we might have to do if we ever want to do drawings that require me to draw more than 24 people. I do have a Pitos fetish that won't be coming until it's definitely going to be a while before we get to that. Probably let's say, try to not be as spoilerific here. In season 2. Yes, season 2. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, y'all know that there's already 2 seasons planned, and I'm not gonna say any more than that. Trust me, I actually do have enough ideas for 2 seasons, more than 2. Well, at least one general theme for a 3rd season, and the potential for a 4th, what might happen in season 4. At the very least, there's going to be an epilogue that comes up, and you're going to be like, oh, I like that idea there you just did there, boy. Good idea, I never would have thought about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody's thought about it before. And I don't want to spoil it. It's going to be a while before we can get to that particular episode. There's 18 that we'd have to get to. So we got 18 drawings to do, and, these particular episodes, they don't come by at the same rate as most. Every 10th mature drawing I make, that's when a new episode is. Please get a few weeks in. I might just be able to increase that, or decrease the, what do you call it? I think I've said before, minimum is 20 weeks. If I were to go 4, well, we can't get the minimum now because we've already passed a week and with only 2 drawings in that week. Yeah, so, but the minimum is 20 weeks. 4 drawings a week, which I'm not going to do that. Not now, of course, because I just don't have the time. I need more time if I'm going to do 4 drawings a week. Also, I don't even know how in the hell I am going to come up with enough conversational topics for 4 drawings a week. I mean, okay, granted, we have one drawing, mature drawing, where I'm not going to make a video of it because obvious reasons. YouTube probably wouldn't allow it. Within the Minecraft game, literal gameplay music in the game, copyrighted. YouTube, are you inebriated? I'm sure this is going to be an issue in the future. I would prefer not to have any copyright strikes. I'm not making any money off this yet, but I would prefer not to have a copyright claim, not strike, claim. A copyright claim. Just to have it embellished. I did dispute it, though. I did dispute it. But guess what? No more music in Minecraft. Because YouTube's copyright claim system can't distinguish the difference between music used in a game, that is, I believe that's fair use, alongside music not used in the game but used somewhere else. Which is why part of me wonders if I should even bother putting any music on a background in these drawings. I was thinking maybe 99 Lives, but issue there being we probably need some form of licensing, and I don't know what that's going to cost. And I can't exactly, there's no reason for me to spend any money on this because I'm not making any money off of it yet. And even so, I feel like even if I were to have a license to play the music in my video, YouTube's going to be like, oh, well, here's the claim anyways because our algorithm sucks. Off music in Minecraft. What can you do here, folks? What can you do? This AI has not come a long way. I could tell you for 100% fact that machines are not going to take over our jobs at the fucking rate that we are making them as terrible as they are. Machines just break down so goddamn often in that damn place. Alright, anyway, it's fine. There's no more my copy claimed. I'm not going to be able to hear the potential kamikaze from behind. And we're already so far ahead in our... I need a cough drop. We're already so far ahead in our house building that I don't want to end so soon. I do actually have an idea of making my own music and posting it to YouTube with, potentially fade. I am able to replicate a feminine voice quite well, and with dreams and the way you can adjust the pitch, I can make it sound even more authentic. Thing is, I'm able to replicate Fade's voice. I can hear her voice in my head. I know what she sounds like, and I know, what tone she has. Thing is, I don't know if I can replicate it. Will I be able to replicate it? I have no clue. I could try, but it's just not going to turn out as well right now, at least. Right now, my voice and the coughs and all that stuff is probably going to make it impossible for me to even try to replicate in a feminine voice. So as it stands right now, it don't matter. What matters right now is that I finish this and post it today. I've been working on this on and off for a few days now, outlining one process, but debating whether or not I want to take a video of me coloring it in the background. Which is probably fine. I feel like I should just make these one part big. And there might be more retentions if there's only one part for people to worry about. I don't know. I don't know much about how a video thing goes. And since, we're not really editing this, because I don't have the ability to edit this particular thing when I'm having to buy a software for it, probably. But, yeah. It's a decent, what do you call it? A decent amount of content to try to come up with. Well, depending on what you consider as content, if you don't like the mature stuff that I talk about from time to time, if you like the weird stuff, don't worry, I got a lot more weird stuff, but I'm trying to hold off on talking about all the weird stuff at once so I don't run out of, stuff to talk about. There's still a whole bunch of, stories in the Fred and Bonnie department that I haven't talked about. It's the Betty Bop story. Bot, not Bop. It's basically just Betty, Bonnie's wife, who has a square mouth that's black, and try to save the weird content. There's a certain quirk that they have, but that's as far as I'm going to talk about them for now. Oh yeah, there's more to talk about for. I guess I could give you some insight as to what I have planned for in Pito's fetish storyline. For those who are here for that, I mean, this stuff is being linked from DeviantArt, so I bet a large majority of my audience here are here for the mature stuff, but they just want to see me draw, no matter if it's not safe for work. Who knows? There's a medley of reasons you're probably here listening to my ramblings and stories and creations. But I will talk to you about around early April or late March, depending on if I make more drawings than 2 a week. Spoilers, Merle lies his mother and breaks out the womb. Dang old Mortal Kombat style. And at this point, that's where the Royal Guard, branch off, go to that palace area. And there's this group. I'm not gonna say it because that's a huge spoilers. But because of that event that happened in the first episode, Pito is experiencing a major change. People want to see Pito as a guy. Some people want to see Pito as a girl. So there you go, best of both worlds. Even though Pito is not necessarily human and doesn't follow the same protocols as we do, it's up to the audience to decide what they want there. I personally, on to what the plot point here is. So, Pito is lost in thought, still thinking about what has happened. At the experimentation with the chimeras, something else is missing, right? What they're trying to do is they're trying to essentially recapture that feeling that Maki gave to them. And you can't exactly do that without, subject to test on. The chimeras were a good first step, but they weren't exactly up to their standards. And when I say there, I mean Pito. That's the one thing there's gotta be a better term to describe someone genderless other than they or them or their. It is no option. We're not going to use that. I mean, I know Pito is a monster, but they are our monster. Who we are going to change throughout the entirety of, Well, Season 2 is where most of the changes are going to take place. You'll see what I mean when we actually get to that point. When are we going to get to that point? I don't know. Limitation period means that we only get 2 episodes per. Anyways, back to the idea in mind. So the king's over here comparing those poor ladies to the fact that, humans kill cows and stuff like that, not so much as, giving a second thought to cats over in the bed, and I hear something clapping over there. Stop clapping that ass, ghost. Clap that ass, ghost. Clap that ass. But, yeah. The, comparison to the cows, he's about ready to kill the girls, when Pito conjunctures in and says something along the lines of if they may be allowed to take these ladies for their own experimentation. Obviously, with the whole fetish and all that stuff, they're saved, and Pito needs them alive. In other words, I saved a bunch of side characters in this episode. That's right, I am the god in this particular universe, and I saved those side characters even though their deaths change anything in timeline. All it really does is just changes up that particular instance in timeline a little bit. I mean, that's the one thing to take into consideration here. If you're saving certain characters in certain timelines, some of their deaths won't really mean much of anything. So, like, saving them won't change the timeline too much. If it's a main character, like, say, spoilers for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 3, with one of the main characters saving Abdal's life from being black holed, that... Okay, well, let's be honest. If we were to save... major spoilers, obviously, Abdal, Iggy, and Kakyoin, whatever goddamn name is, I can't think. Maybe we have Iggy as, Polnareff's lapdog throughout the entirety of that part of the season. I don't know. Think about it. It's like, it doesn't really change much. I think in the end, spoilers, Polnareff would still become a turtle. Not a turtle. Well, a turtle, then a ghost. A turtle ghost. I forgot. How did that end again? Was he still a turtle, or did he just go into ghost form immediately afterwards? I can't recall. All I know is his physical body dies, but he's literally become... My god, Polnareff's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh my god. What could this be? Oh crap. Polnareff managed to evade death so much that his own soul persists, and now he's become even more powerful than he was before. Damn, who would have thought that Polnareff himself was Obi-Wan Kenobi? Of all the things, how could we be so blind? It was right in front of us this whole time. Anyways, really no reason to, but we're going to. We're going to have Pito do it. And the only reason why that's happening is because Maki came to the NLG and decided to do the thing to Pito to escape, even though it's probably very embarrassing for her to have to be resorting to those tactics. Why does she know that? Big spoilers, so I ain't going to say it. But it's worth it once we actually do get to that point. I think that might be revealed somewhat in Season 2, at the end of that, and maybe another But like I said, big spoilers. I want to try to keep this stuff kind of open-ended. Leave y'all's guessing what's going to happen next. Besides, it's still going to take a while to get to each episode, even if the mature drawings have doubled for the future limitation periods, including this one. It's still going to take a while to get to them. That's 40 drawings now instead of 80. Granted, yes, I probably could speed it up, but, we're going by the same route as the Karasuba series, where instead it's kind of just, what's the word I'm looking for, as it stands. It's very clear to us that there's still a decent amount of, restrictions in place. I mean, we do have a little bit more freedom, but there is still many restrictions. And it's good to want to have restrictions. It's good to want to have restrictions so that you can keep a good and steady flow going out throughout the entirety of all of your, drawings and stuff like that. That's why the limitation period was made in the first place. I always want to have everything be evened out. My DeviantArt tag isn't a mix of almost anything for or almost everything for nothing, right? I forgot my own tag. I didn't forget, I just mispronounced the word anything do. Feel like I want to, draw more in, a particular apartment. But these limits are necessary. If I want to keep things at a good, steady pace, it's important to want to have these particular limitations in place to ensure that I always keep things steady and even. Now that DeviantArt removed the perfect counting system they had in their app, now I gotta keep track of everything. I don't know why they did that. I really don't understand the reasoning behind it. Wait, what was that drawing that I was thinking? Okay, because it's not in this scene. It was in a different scene. Oh, right, that's right. That was in the mushroom drawing. The, jungle clot demon drawing. I don't know, I guess I could still put this in here, right over to here. Oink, 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 Pigalig. Alright. A little bit of this, why not? We also can. this, right? Yeah, that'll work. Why not? Okay, fool. Seriously? Right, I see. God damn it, these freaking... It's not hair, it's literal fuzz. Where's this fuzz coming from? Crap. Your days. Alright, grass. Good. Wait, no, hold on. Maybe that's fine. But, yeah, that's... I'm really only talking about the characters in episode 3 that are gonna, go through. I'm not gonna go through too much of the story. I'm gonna, do that when I actually get to the point where I'm drawing it. Because, right now I only have the premise there. I'm not making up the story in a plan. I just have the premise. I have the general idea on what to work with. And that's it. There's no reason for me to try to go ahead of the curve and make the story. Just create the... What's the word I'm looking for? The... Crap, the word that escapes my brain as it currently stands. The word... The criteria. Is it criteria? I'll say it in this fashion instead. The word that tells me what victim is being used in that... You really expect for me to remember everything? I envy envy. I envy those who are able to essentially just dig deep within their memories, their brains, and grab every single piece of memory if given the knowledge of most of my creations. Well, not all of them, obviously. I have moments where I've forgotten certain creation tidbits. That's why I have a tidbit list, because I know I'm going to forget. And especially if I don't work on a character for a long time. I mean, if you've seen my 1,000 deviation milestone drawing, you see just how many things I've created. I've made so many original characters, it's insane. The fact that I'm even able to remember a fraction of what most of their personality and backstory is like, I guess that's where most of my knowledge is, my own creation. Which makes sense, because they're my creations. I should be able to retain some of that knowledge so I don't have to keep looking back and re-remembering, oh, this is what they are. Oh, this is the job they work at. Oh, this is what happened to their parents that are for some reason dead and I don't remember why they were dead. That's why I have to have a tidbit list here, folks. I'm unable to retain all of the knowledge of my creation. Some of them I can. Moon obviously makes the most sense because he's my most favorite creation. Nagato as well. Although, I guess there are some tidbits I don't remember of Nagato because I don't really look into those too much. I believe I made her a freelancer. I'm pretty certain, at least. But, yes, I am thinking, I can't possibly create another new creation. Nope. Oh, here I go. I made 5 new creations as background NPCs for this one drawing. Most adults lose when they grow old and accept reality. This is why I don't accept reality. If you accept reality, you start to lose creativity. Or they make the bank. I'm going to have to save this now, I believe, because these are new swatches here. Swansons. But, yes. A lot of creations. Fayanna is just one of many. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like Fayanna. It's just something about her. Something about her appearance, her face, her literal design, I guess. Yeah, I guess somewhat brown or black stripes, depending on, And that's another thing. Tiger fairies, a new species. Fayanna's just one character from the species. I could create even more of them if I wanted to. Am I going to? I don't know just yet, actually. Do you guys want to see more tiger fairies? Maybe not this time around, because A, I have to get some demon drawings in before I can really do much. B, the actual series. Are you? Okay, good. And then there's the whole, Well, I have so many creations. Do I want to make like 5 more tiger fairies and 5 unique designs? I have no clue. Maybe I will. Maybe most untamed, if that's the word I'm looking for. Other than that, no bodily fluids or anything outside of like saliva, maybe for like certain instances. But yeah, that's my friends right there. There's limitations when it comes to that particular instance. I think I might use this fog color instead. Also, like I said before, underage characters and mature drawings. Not going to draw that, obviously. The only exceptions are the ones that are grown up at some point in the series. When I've Tsunade and... What was that other girl's name again? Shizune? It's been a while, I don't recall her name. Oh, and definitely Magui? You know, what was her hair color again? The dark-skinned girl. Obviously, dark-skinned girl. I would say, what was her name again? The girl that Nagato is based off of, with her tan skin and her red hair. I would say her, but, you know, I can't draw her in base Naruto form. I'd have to draw her in their MILF form. Which, obviously, Kakyoin would approve. Kakyoin. I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name. I am no good at speaking. I try my best, but sometimes my best ain't good enough. I'm gonna just do sun rays or something. Raws. No, sun rays. But, yes, creations abound. Many I have made. Many in the fan art department that I can make as well. If I wanted to, at least. I don't know when I will, though. Like... We are still very rather limited on how many fan art drawings we can make. Like I said before, that's 10 fan art drawings per limitation period. Like I said before, fan art drawings are what really brings in them their views. But I don't want to be limited to just fan art drawings. You've seen how many creations I made. Like I said, 10 fan art drawings per limitation period. And each limitation period lasts 80 drawings, which means I have 70 original drawings. And, well, granted, some of them don't really count towards anything like major in the new character. First came from there. Gwyneth, Ariana, Genthru, Domador especially. They came from there first. So I get others has some exceptions. Mock Brain Horror is another thing. Although I think with Mock Brain Horror, most of those OCs aren't really something I'd be drawing again. Like the entities, you know, those creatures that I've made. All of those monstrosities. Granted, we can, like, reference some of them from the past, like I did with the, creeping... Crap, what was that called again? Hold on, I'm gonna take a quick look back at what you call it. Creeping Corpse, I think it was called. Oh, hey, perfect. Hey, look at this. All right, Brandon Burrs Gals TKL. Thanks for the watch and fave. You love y'alls for coming in and supporting me in what I do. Too bad that was the only notification here, but I looked at that not too long ago, so the escorter exists in all the other universes. Yeah, Creeping Corpse it was called. The one where that poor girl is getting her insides ripped off by the melee. You know, if you don't look at it, it just boom, and then there goes your torso. And then the rest of your body as well. Yeah, no, those particular creations, Isaiah, are the ones that I will most likely not draw again. Like, like for example, the Goth Group. I'm definitely going to draw Moon again. I got a nice idea that I'm going to draw at some point. When am I going to draw it? I have no clue. I do want to draw it soon, but I don't want to draw it too soon. I kind of want to draw it out a bit, if you know what I mean. Like, make y'all's wait a minute. Not a minute. Some time. That's the words. Make it so that, something, because I think you are going to like it. I know I'm going to like it. Just the thought of Moon dressing up as her is just so adorable. Say that because then it's going to spoil it, because you know you're going to look for something more than, you know, the thing. I'm not going to say it. It will spoil it. Part of me kind of wants to draw it around March, maybe. March seems like a good month. I don't know. I'm going to take my vacation day on my birthday on that week. What's my birthday, you might ask? It's the 18th. I was thinking, maybe I'll, you know, hold off on that information. No, the 18th of March. That beeth my birthday. So we still got a ways to go. I'm going to be turning 26 soon. Which, you know, honestly, age doesn't really matter too much to me as it stands right now. I am still in pain, regardless of what age I am in. Though I do hope I live long enough for android bodies to become a thing, and then I can switch over to an android body instead. I would switch to an android body in a heartbeat. If it means I can continue to create for this world, so be it. Unless, say, the afterlife exists in the sense of whatever we create becomes real in another universe, and I have the ability to go to a universe I created. I would like to do that. I would like to be able to visit, like, Luna's universe, for example. It would be so great to not have to worry about money. I don't even have to, like, create anything. I could just live at Luna's hotel and have her do the thing to me. You know the thing I'm talking about, the thing that Luna is well known for. Oh, of course, I'm still going to create, but I will also have that on the side every now and again because, let's face it, just having a girl there to just always... I barely get any as it stands. I don't even know how the hell I'm supposed to be able to keep a conversation with other people. When I just don't say anything. Usually I'm quiet. I'm sure there's a better way to go about trying to keep up conversation, but not a lot goes on in my life outside of work and my creations to really be able to do anything with it. Kind of sucks, though, let's be honest. It means I won't be able to actually go out and, you know, show that I am actually very, what's the word? Kinky. I definitely know a thing or two about a lot of fetish-related stuff. So it's good new experiences for other, you know, people that want to try out at least. But, as I've said before, I am antisocial. The fact that I'm able to talk to myself doesn't really change much because of my inability to, you know, I wouldn't say convince because I don't even bother trying. I see those pickup artists out there and I just cringe. It's another reason why I don't really go out there, because I just don't want to be that kind of person. Going out there and just being a creep. It's hard to, like, try to, like, find somebody in the friend group to do that kind of stuff with, because I'm not good for antisocial, and also you don't want to ruin a friendship either. So what the hell am I supposed to do? I know a lot. I don't really go for the whole sex route. I know, like, the fetishes and all that stuff, because there's a lot more you can do in that department. Although there are poses, but even when it comes to the fetish stuff, I don't know, like, the certain names of things. Like, when it comes to, like, bondage stuff. I know spread eagle beeth one of them. Alright, that's a good color. But yeah, this right here, reason why I don't really get anything, because of my lack of social skills. But it's fine. I live for my creations as it stands right now. I should focus on my creation so that I can get out of this toxic job and live a better life. Maybe once I've gotten to a better point in life, I'll try to put myself out there. Not for a relationship, obviously. For me, it's always lust over love. And I'm honest about it. Because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But yes. I think we're nearing the end of this drawing. I think, anyways. I'm sure I can do... The thing about... I don't go to a strip club because it just feels as though it's just going to be all staring. I do that when you have the internet. Although, granted, one of my co-workers / friends, I would say, you know, when he was dating his girlfriend at the time, they went to, like, that a strip club where the girls were like going, why would me, the most unluckiest person in the world, despite what anyone else says, get lucky for that to happen to me? Fantasy worlds to be happy. And it's probably not healthy, but you know what? We get creations like this, and that's what makes me happy. So I ask you again, why would reality be so kind to me? To allow me the pleasure, I was going to say satisfaction, but the pleasure of being some girl's boy toy, I think. But don't forget, I am a sub. That's another thing that I don't think a lot of girls are, into. They want dominating men, but I want to be dominated. I just don't like the facts that they expect to be dominated. I mean, I could go both ways, but like I've said before, sub all the way. I mean, whole tentacle hentai stuff and my fantasy in that department definitely is like a freaking huge tell that I'm a sub. I am a masochist after all, and anything with occasions, if you know what I mean. But yes, this here right there, I think we'll end it because we are finished, and I want to get back to playing at Tales of Berseria and continue down that storyline. Okay, go to the damn grass I want you to go to. There, Christ. But there you have it. We got some time to post this and do all that stuff. Because I do also still want to play that game and get a little further in there. So there you have it. With effects, without effects. Huge difference. I like Fayanna. She's cute. She has a nice design to her. Butterfly-esque wings with the tiger design. If you want to see her, being inside of that plant, not inside because the plant's kind of opened up, then please consider going to my Patreon. It's only $10, and you got 7 other drawings from the previous months. So, yes, if you want to see her naked, being tentacle tickled, $10 is all it takes to see it. Just please support me. I need something to get me to get money outside of this toxic job, and I would very much appreciate y'all supporting me in my endeavors. The more money you give me, the greater chance I have of quitting this goddamn job, and I can make more creations. More mature drawings will be made because I'll be able to create more creations. There's your incentive to want to spend $10 a month. Go on, please, help an artist out. Not safe for work is like a good, department for when it comes to making money, because a lot of, wrong, this quote, sex sells. That is apparent. Just keep that in mind. I will not be doing anything with males. You will only expect females. I don't know, maybe Karapika in the future or Stoforzi, depending on if I want to break that barrier or not. Traps, I don't know. I'll stick with women like I always have, but, that's $10 right there a month for two hardcore mature drawings. And whatever came from previous months, I'd say it's always a good deal, especially if you are new. No matter what, that first purchase is always a good deal. Maybe even spend $15 if you want to see the animation. Don't expect anything more out of that particular one folder. $15 for a 15-minute animation. After that, don't spend any more $15 on that because we're not making any more animations. Trust me, it takes too long for too little gain. It's just, yeah. So there you go, folks. That's the end of this one. This video right here, that is the end of it, man. I'm going to take a drink before I dehydrate. So I hope you like this video. If you do like it, please hit that like button. Give me some support right there and hit that like button. Help my YouTube channel grow. If you want to see more, if you want to hear more strange stories and want to see me draw, or if you want to see me play Minecraft, I'm building a house in Minecraft instead of actually making any progress. Well, let's be honest here. You can speedrun the game in 10 minutes. I am here to build. I am a builder. So if you want to see me build a house in Minecraft, maybe pick up some nice building ideas, go check out the playlist there. If you want to see me, most of the drawing videos that I make has me talking about strange, weird stories. And yes, that's your incentive if you want to see, hero stories. Watch me draw and listen to me talk about these stories. So, yes, playlist, all that stuff, yada yada yada. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next video.